respond meaningfully to what the witness is going to say. So really, it is the state's submission that it is for the court to decide whether they may be given indulgence to respond on another date other than today. Yes.
Well, yes, I suppose a victim impact statement can be made, is given either in writing or orally. Is that so?
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yes.
In that case, then we may need to dispense with the affidavit, and you ask your witness to read from that and record it orally.
Yes.
The accused persons may then, if they need time, make their application, but we just have to hear what the witness has to say. It doesn't have to be presented in form of a document. We can read it.
Indebted, my lord. The state wishes to call the evidence of Alban Minduro. You may take the witness stand, please.
You still want to say something? Well, yes, it's, once he has finished giving his evidence orally, I've just allowed him to read it because this is not evidence. The trial is just formal evidence. So he can read it, the machine will record, and then you consider your position after it's finished. So you can be under.
I don't know whether he has to be, an oath has to be administered.
Well, since he's giving evidence orally, let's just take that precaution.
Thank you.
What language do you want to use, Mr. Mpofu? English. Swear him in.
State your full names to the court. State your full names to the court. State your full names to the court.
Okay, thank you. My name is Alban Minduro.
Okay, do you swear that what you're about to say is the truth and nothing but the truth? And if so, you can raise your right hand and say, so help you God.
So help me God.
Mr. Minduro, can you confirm that you gave evidence in the main trial?
Yes,
as a witness?
Yes, I did give evidence as a main witness.
Yes. Yes, I'm not going to go through where you are employed. Your capacity is already captured in the record. Now, is it, if you may have a look at the document, an affidavit statement, and tell this court who compiled the report?
I compiled the report.
Is it correct that it is a victim impact assessment report?
Yes, this is a victim impact assessment report.
What were your findings? If you may read the report to the court.
Thank you.
Yes.
So should I start right from the background?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I, Alban Minduro, ID number 15063042W15, employed by the government of Zimbabwe as a director for the Department of State Control Services in the Ministry of Land, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water, and authorized to depose to the affidavit by the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Land, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water, and Rural Development. Do we hereby solemnly and sincerely...
Don't worry about that. You've already taken the oath. Can you go to the gist of the statement? Just skip that the oath and then tell us what you have to say.
The background to the issue. The Minister of Land, Agriculture, Fisheries and Water and Rural Development awarded a contract to Black Duck Private Limited on 16 November 2021 for the supply and delivery of 632,001 goats to rural households under the Presidential Goat Scheme. The goats were to be rolled out over a period of 5 years, delivering approximately 126,400 goats per each calendar year. The contract value of the scheme was US 87,757,168 US dollars. Then we come on to the justification for this project, for this scheme. The scheme was identified as a catalyst for rapid rural livelihood improvement through the commercialization of goat production, for improved household, number one, food security, number two, nutrition security, number three, income, thereby realizing the aspirations of Vision 2030 and the NBS1. In the long term, these smallholder farmers would contribute to the growth of the domestic and the export market, thereby contributing to the mainstream economy. Goat production is one of the key climate-proof livestock production systems for increased smallholder farmer resilience during climatic shocks like drought and poverty reduction. Then we come on to the target groups that were meant for this project. The first priority groups of beneficiaries were rural vulnerable households, as contained in the database within the Ministry of Public Service and Social Welfare, that included disabled persons headed households, number two, child or youth headed households, number three, elderly headed households, number four, widow headed households, and number five, chronically ill and orphan headed households, and thereafter the rest of the other rural households. Then the status of the targeted group. These groups are the most disadvantaged households in the rural landscape, with little meaningful income, relying heavily on handouts from well-wishers, development partners, and government schemes, of which the Presidential Goat Person Scheme wanted to uplift them from the shackles of poverty. While owning a goat may be nothing for the rich, this is a highly prolific, disease and drought-tolerant biological asset of economic value to these disadvantaged rural vulnerable households. Then come on to the contract performance. With the above rural developmental trajectory in mind, the government, through the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, advanced the contractor the amount of 1.6 billion for the purpose and for the purchase and the delivery of goats. This was approximately equivalent to 7.712197 million US dollars at the time of transaction. Regrettably, the contractor delivered 4,208 goats valued at US 331,444.25 before suspending the delivery of the goats by the end of the year 2022, dealing a massive blow to the scheme that was expected to deliver approximately 126,400 goats for distribution to 120,000 households annually for 5 years. This translated to an outstanding balance of 7.380751.84 US dollars, equivalent to 103,382 goats that should have been distributed to the disadvantaged rural vulnerable groups. Then we come on to the implication of suspension of the Presidential Goat Scheme on the beneficiaries. Number one, intended rural vulnerable groups. Losses in potential disposable income that could have been generated by the vulnerable groups from the sale of the first and the second generation live goats, that is, in brackets, a door can produce at least 3 kids in 2 years. That is a reproductive cycle of 8 months. Number 2, loss in biological assets that they were supposed to benefit from the scheme for 3 consecutive years after the national launch on 9 September 2022. The total figure there is 638,440 goats that could have been distributed and benefited these disadvantaged groups. Point number 3, reduce the drought resilience and high poverty risk of the affected, disadvantaged, vulnerable groups. Then another point under that heading is erosion of public trust for government rural schemes emanating from the conduct of the people who were running the Black Duck project. Then in number 2, in terms of household and national food and nutrition security. Point number 1, household food and nutrition security for the targeted vulnerable groups and the country at large was completely derailed, impacting negatively at the attainment of Vision 2030. Then another point on that one is, since the commencement of the court proceedings, there has been no meaningful traction on the scheme for the beneficiaries up to this day, dealing a massive blow to the beneficiaries who had developed high hopes of owning an economic asset in their lives. Then we come on to Section 3, prejudice and the image of the ministry and the government of Zimbabwe. The government of Zimbabwe was prejudiced of approximately 7.38751.84 US dollars that must be recovered in one way or another. The second point is reputational damage and loss of public confidence. Another point is operational and budgetary constraint after paying a non-performing project.
Sorry, what is the amount of prejudice again?
That's 7,380,751.34 US dollars.
Which is what, 7 million?
7.3 million.
Thank you.
Then the next point, the presidential flagship program, marred by corruption damaged the country's image and reduced the public's trust in the social policies of the ministry and the country, in brackets, that the social policy credibility. The last point on that, under that item, is internationally, the image of the country was compromised due to the conduct of the accused and the court proceedings being beamed live. Then attainment of Vision 2030 slowed down the attainment of Vision 2030 of a prosperous and empowered upper middle income society by slowing down the implementation of the scheme meant to benefit the disadvantaged rural vulnerable groups. This is the Victim Impact Assessment Report for the Presidential Goat Scheme regarding the losses suffered by the beneficiaries and other stakeholders due to the conduct of the accused person. I make the above statement consciously believing the same to be true. Alban Mindro, I thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Do you have anything to add to the report or anything to subtract from what you stated in the report? Nothing. If I may ascertain from the court whether there is any need for the report to be uploaded.
Yes. You can see I wasn't writing
Yes. It will be uploaded immediately after.
It's already sworn.
Yes. Or in the meantime, if the court so wishes, can give me 3 copies, which will be uploaded as well. No, to the court. to the registrar. I have no further questions for the witness.
I don't remember the
Sorry?
number of the last exhibit. Does anybody recall?
Remember that should have been number 24.
So this would be number 25. Okay, the affidavit. Any objections to this production? The affidavit will be exhibit 25.
I intended my
But because we now rely on the ICMS, we will need to upload it.
Yes.
But we will retain the physical copy. For
Yes. It will be uploaded soon after the court adjourns.
Yes.
I have no further questions for the witness.
Okay. Mr. Maduku, you still need time to consider your position. I don't believe you need too much time. We can adjourn. What time is it?
We're not looking at today, we think we need time. There are some things that we really need to check. And then get some people when we cross-examining on, I made so many statements that are very prejudicial to their case, which, as far as we see them, cannot be true and cannot be scientifically proven. We need that scientific information that we need to get for. So we certainly would need the whole of the day after. The time now is actually just before 2, and we only have 2 hours remaining in that.
Mr. Jetero? He speaks for all of you.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. Mabaudi, Monday?
The state will be in attendance.
You are available.
The state is available, my lord.
I'm afraid on Monday, both myself and Mr. Pedro I have a school run. I have to go and pick my son up on Tuesday.
You must employ a driver.
Indeed, I wish my pocket could afford. But we were proposing, I think from the defense bar Tuesday.
Tuesday is not available. One of the members of the court will be committed in another court. Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes.
Mr. Mabaudi, Wednesday?
Wednesday is perfect for the state.
what is going to happen on Wednesday? You will put questions to the witness. Do we call it cross-examination? Whatever I call it. You'll be putting questions to the witness. And we follow the usual order. Jury examine. Maybe where disputes or facts arise, you may need to do that. I'm not sure. You need to apply your minds to that. I just hazarding this. And then we after that we go into mitigation.
Yes.
So please come prepared for that. Once you are done with this witness, we then move on to mitigation and aggravation.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Mindu, I'm sure you've been following the discussions. The accused persons are exercising their rights to be adequately represented and to put informed questions to you. They want to do a bit of research on what you see. So if you didn't research, you will be in trouble. But anyway, that we will accord them that right. It's a very critical sentencing stage. Is a very critical stage in any criminal proceedings. So, are you available on Wednesday? You are the only person whom we didn't consult.
I'll be available.
Yeah, court officials are very selfish. You have to forgive us because the law tells us that the rule of law is above everything else, except God, of course. Very well, accused persons stand up. You have been following the proceedings. We will continue with the pre-sentencing procedure on Wednesday at 11. This court is normally in use between 10 and 11, between 9 and 11. So that we don't keep everybody waiting, we will proceed at 11. We hope to complete the pre-sentencing stage on that day, and thereafter we can then move on to the actual sentencing. Any other business registry?
No further business.
The court will rise.